My name is Xiaoqing Ding. I'm originally from China, Beijing. I'm working on this painting. This show is my first oil painting show. Everything gonna be oil painting. Well, I still have some drawings, but drawing for me is kind of too easy. Oil is like a big challenge. Always like challenge myself. I just got this feeling like oil is the only medium like you can really paint. Like when you do pastel and extempore, you feel like you're making drawing because those medium are pretty much all about make layers. Actually, I always have this big fear about oil painting. I don't know why. Because the first time I tried oil painting, I almost passed out because of the smell of the medium. I couldn't really find the right technique, so I had to take some classes. I believe there's no trick for oil. Like you have to have very strong foundation training about drawing. You have to understand color, you have to understand lights, you have to understand lots of basic stuff. And then you have to know how to use brush, how to make the paint work. It took me a couple of months, to get to really use to work with oil. The title piece, At the End of the Rainbow, I didn't know what the at the end of the rainbow means, but after I know the meaning, I was like, ooh, that's a good name. See that little white fox carry a pile of gold. So that's the part I really like, a pile of gold, because I believe, like this year is my gold year. I'm wearing this big piece of 24K gold. But anyway. A fox, actually in Chinese culture, we have lots of fairy tales about fox. In China, all the fox, they are female. So those fox are kind of like vampire, like, they're nightmares for those guys. Lots of women want to be fox because, that gave them power. Like, especially in the ancient time in China, of course, at the time, women, they don't have that much power. So they kind of like, this is like all the woman's fantasy. This is not my first oil painting. I sold the first one, thanks God. Got all my tuition back. And then the second one was the one showed at Jonathan Levine in a group show. And then this is the third one. So this one actually took 2 months and a half. It doesn't even look like oil. It looks a little bit like egg tempera because I spent lots of time building layers. If you look at the face, there's lots of details. I didn't really, I couldn't really control the brush. I was so mad. It was like, oh my God. I was like, this one would never be finished. But it looks pretty good, huh? To say that shameless, it's pretty good. So I really like this one a lot. Those frames are special made, hand carved, hand painted frame. So yeah, the good frame can make the painting looks much better. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy it. If you have questions, just Google me.
Thank you.